Five, four, three, two, one. Right. Hello, everyone. This is the Maxtape. You might see this on video format if we put it on YouTube eventually, when we get bought out by like a major company eventually. So my guest this week is Max from MOFGY.
Hello.
Probably going to be a co-host one day, considering we have the same name. Probably chat about that later.
Only natural, isn't it? Max.
Yeah, well, I'm quite limited with how many people I can have on as a guest speaker. So I thought we'll just go with the first name basis, and then we'll just go from there. Look for more Maxes as we can. If you know anyone, just let me know.
Is that going to be the rule from now on? It's only Maxes.
Only Maxes are allowed on the Maxtape. Yeah, for sure. So basically, the premise of this, just for the listeners, is going to be I'm quite obsessed with learning more about people as opposed to things sometimes. And what that basically means is like doing this new show will essentially allow me to focus more and learn more about the person who makes the music that I like, as opposed to just the music that they make it. Do you know what I mean? So the idea is we're going to do 10 questions and there's going to be 10 answers, and all those answers are going to be a song, hopefully with a story as well. It's going to be exclusive on Spotify as a show because obviously music rights and stuff like that. And then afterwards we're going to clip it up, put it all on TikTok or whatever, and become TikTokers, YouTubers.
Oh, yes. Raking the money.
Exactly. Firstly, how you been?
Good, man. Yeah, good. We've been very busy the last few months with music and everything, but it's sort of going through a little bit of a break at the moment while we're all on holiday. Extended holiday.
Oh, really? Hiatus.
Yeah. Not that anyone would know that, but it's... it feels weird because you kind of get into this groove where we're gigging loads, and we're doing loads of gigs and stuff, and then you feel like, oh, we're doing something, and then suddenly you're off for 2 weeks and it feels like you've given up. It's like we haven't done anything
now.
For 3 weeks. Yeah, it's like we may as well
get the band back together.
Yeah, the next one's a reunion tour basically. So.
yeah, greatest hits.
Yeah,
so I guess the first question is, okay, and it kind of is a good way of segueing into your career as a musician. One of the first songs you ever remember listening to?
The first song, there was a few for this one. I had to think which one stood out to me as a kid. It was Jerry Rafferty and Baker Street, because of it's the saxophone basically. I don't know what it was. Yep. I think I just have this memory of me as a kid sitting in my mum's car and just hearing that saxophone. I'm sure there's tracks before this that I would have heard, but this is the one that sticks in my mind. Yeah. That's a great song. And as you get older and older, you hear tunes and you're like, it's really nostalgic.
Yeah.
Because it reminds
in fairness, mate, I weren't expecting you to say like Thomas the Tank Engine.
No,
I was looking for this kind of answer. You're on the right lines of where I'm trying to go with this.
I nearly did do Teletubbies, but I thought that's not going to be right for the show.
Not very cool, is it?
Mate, that's proper cool, I think. But
yeah, well, you are edgy like that.
It had to be viable, and the sax on this is incredible. So that's sort of where, I don't know, you can't go wrong with it, can you? I also had a debate recently with my friends about this song because I kept humming it and I was adding in this little dum dum, and I'm like, mate, that's not in the tune. I was like, I'm telling you, it's in the song. Listen to the intro. There's a little dum dum. You can't go wrong. It's a great tune.
Right, let's get to it then, shall we? So what we're going to do, so obviously me and you doing an interview, there's no point sitting here lying and saying like, okay, right, let's listen to the song. We're not going to be listening to the song, but the listeners, I was going to say users then, the listeners are going to listen to the song. So this is Jerry Rafferty with Baker Street.
My lighting's super moody in here compared to you.
Yeah, I know. I've actually bought a ring light.
It's like I'm in a dungeon.
I bought a ring light for like, because I wanted to like basically do more like TikTok and like Instagram, I keep saying like, more TikTok and YouTube shorts and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I bought it and I was just like, I look like an absolute moron with this. And it was really inconvenient as well because it's really fiddly. So I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Like, I just can't be arsed with it. So now I just use it as a light to help with this. So pretty.
But that's why I can see a beautiful face now, and I'm here like this.
Well, exactly. I do feel like it's making me look very good at the minute, if I say so myself.
It's all in the lighting. That's the secret.
It's all in the lighting. Yeah. Don't be fooled by Instagram models. It's all in the lighting. Fact. Right, okay, let's get on to the next one. Okay, so the question I asked you, and I'm sure I'm really looking forward to listening to this one. To be honest with you, I think it's going to fit in really well with the show.
Yeah.
A song that's inspired you to do music.
So it's, by the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And you know what? I could have probably picked a number of Red Hot Chili Peppers songs for this answer. But the first album I actually went and bought myself was Stadium Arcadium. This song isn't on there, obviously, but I remember hearing this particular tune. It wasn't on Cartoon Network. It was like on their other stations, like I can't remember what it's called. And I just always remember there was an advert.
Like Cartoon Network Junior or something like that.
No, it was the one where they played all Dragon Ball Z and stuff. That whatever that was.
I never used to watch that.
I was well into it.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. we're not all nerds. But that tune was on an advert or one of the main like features on that show, and it kept playing after every like cartoon had been on. And I always remember hearing it, thinking that's a like cool song. Didn't know who it was by, and then realized it was Red Hot Chili Peppers. Got into them, and then that's when I went and bought that album, Stadium Arcadium. So yeah, and just hearing that kind of music really opened me up to the rock and funk rock world. So,
what was it about it? Was it the lyrics? Was it the drums, whatever? Because obviously they're all very talented, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
or was it just everything?
It's the energy, you know. By the way, I mean that's probably a really hippie answer. It's the energy, man.
Nah.
It is the energy. It's just you hear that song and it's so driving. I was like, whoa! It's like it's like adrenaline in a song, right? You just get that hit from it. So I think that's really, when I heard that and I thought, oh, that's what you can do with music and have that sort of energy. And I'd already had some sort of interest in drumming. It kind of just added to that. It fueled that fire, basically. And I feel like that's probably the best basis to go for in terms of my inspiration for making music.
Have you ever played bass naked on stage?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. In my bedroom, but...
The shower stage.
Yeah, the time will come. I mean, MOFGY are slowly getting more and more naked at every gig.
Yeah, so. I've noticed that, actually. The lead singer and yourself, very hairy chests at such a young age.
I mean, I have nothing on Dan, really, with the hairy chest.
I'm
quite bald, really.
Weird.
He's got a proper Austin Powers rug, you know, that kind of look.
It's screaming out, yeah.
The ladies love it, so can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, can you? Exactly. I've got to say, have you seen, so the first thing, have you seen Rick Rubin's podcast with Joe Rogan?
No, I haven't.
He talks about Red Hot Chili Peppers on there quite a lot, and it's good. So if you like Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I know you do. Yeah, a few weeks ago.
I must have missed that. It went under my radar, but
go and listen to it. Obviously, it's like 3 hours, so
but I like all that.
If you've got time,
if it's a good conversation, I've got time for it. So
that's true. He talks a lot about his book and like energy and stuff like that, which I know you're very fond of.
No, but he is very hippie. You know.
Yeah.
He is a mastermind, but he is very hippie.
So he talks about kind of, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers and their sort of, how can I put it? They went through like a period of like just getting bang on gear, basically. And they kind of was like how Rick Rubin, he was saying how he didn't actually want to kind of be around them because he thought someone was going to get murdered that day when he's in the studio with them. Oh, you all right?
No, did you get that? There was a bit of a...
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sorry.
I think it might be my cable's slightly fucked, you know? Sorry.
It's all right. Well, I can hear you. I can hear you. That's fine. That's all right.
They're scared of getting murdered by this.
Yes, basically. Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to say, have you seen Woodstock 99?
Wow. What
my word.
What a show. And you know what? I couldn't help but watch and think, man, I wish I could have gone. not this whole like, oh, it's disaster. I just saw it and thought that is incredible.
You're such a frat boy, aren't you?
Is it not incredible? No, don't get me wrong. Some of it's disgusting.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm not sure about the jumping around in shit.
No, but some of the
sure
crowds.
about that bit.
You know what was amazing about it was seeing the crowds and not a single phone because it's before that time, and everyone's moving. And I feel like that is gone. Like that's history now. You can't. I don't think that'll ever happen again because now everyone's got phones. You're gonna have phones out, and it's like
yeah. I was watching Kendrick Lamar on TV when he headlined Glastonbury, and it just I don't know. It was too many phones. Do you know what I mean? Bearing in mind with the BBC, it's going to be on iPlayer on YouTube within the next hour. Why? What does it prove? Like putting it on your Snapchat for 15 seconds doesn't really prove anything. Like no one really cares that you were. Like everyone knows that you were there anyway. You know. Yeah. Like how many times do you watch old gig videos back on your phone? I hardly ever do.
You never do, and it's shit, and you never watch it back. So it's kind of just it's a weird ritual that we've got into that people are doing. Yeah. I try and actively avoid it. If I get any urge to get my phone out, I'm like, oh, no, that's not what I'm here for. So
I know this is the problem, right? So like it's a bit of not a poison chalice, that's the wrong word, but a bit of a juxtaposition. Like you want to enjoy the moment by not filming it, but then you feel like you're just making more of a stand against filming it. To serve that purpose. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know.
But you feel like you should just go, like, if that's what you're feeling, you should just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, exactly. But then you also look back and you go, oh, I wish I just watched it, you know?
Yeah. The only time I do like phones, you know, is I think at a band like our level or smaller gigs, I really appreciate people wanting to film it and put it on their Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah. Because I think it gives bands exposure, whereas a massive artist
doesn't need that exposure.
No, and it just becomes more like, oh, look where I am, rather than check out this new band. This is sick.
Yeah.
See this.
It's not so much about look what I'm seeing. It's more about look what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas at a lower level with a band, it's more like look what I'm witnessing right now. Do you know what I mean? I want to share it. Yeah. That's probably the best way to sum it up, I suppose. Anyway, let's play the song, shall we? So let's play By the Way, Red Hot Chili Peppers, absolute tune. I love it, personally. I'm sure you do as well.
I wouldn't have chosen. Yeah, it's a banger. Absolute banger. You can't go wrong.
Let's do it. Okay, so Max on the Maxtape as the first one, the first sort of interviews that we're doing. I think it's going quite well, mate. I think it's all right.
I think it's going dreadful.
Yeah, me too. Shit.
Yeah, no,
you are allowed to swear, by the way. Just let you know.
I just don't swear. I'm a very polite young man.
You make me feel bad now.
But fuck that. I'll change it up.
I've heard that if you and look, I'm not just saying it because I happen to swear a lot, but the people who swear more, they do it because their brain's already thinking about the next thing they're going to say, so they just use it as like fillers.
So it's like you're just swearing because it's like your
It's just like fucking. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, mate, to be fair, I did work with someone before who couldn't go a sentence without saying fuck about 5 times. It was just him thinking. He'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, fucking, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
I was fucking thinking I was going to get a fucking tea for fucking lunch.
See?
That's not even exaggeration. He spoke like that. Point. And it was ridiculous. But
what do you think about swearing in music?
Disgusting. Again, don't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't know.
No, I do it, and I think it can be cringeworthy sometimes.
Yeah, there's a time and a place.
Yeah, it's got to feel natural. Like, did you write that? Did it come out of you naturally when you wrote it? And if that's the case, I think it's right to put it down. I can say, you know, with it's the thing like with MOFGY, and I know me and Dan often talk about lyrics because I mean I'm writing lyrics for Desmeralda, and then he's an outstanding lyricist for MOFGY, I feel, but that's kind of his talent. That is. And I feel like it can be when you first write it, you have a swear word in the lyrics and it feels great at first, but you know, we'll play these songs in practice sometimes where there's a really significant swear line and you know, for someone like Dan who's aware of that kind of, you know, something could pass as cringy if it's done in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're there and it's like, oh, we just leave it out, and then he brings it in for the live version. But it can feel like that. But if it's natural, I don't think it's cringeworthy when he's doing it. I just mean that he's aware of it, so
you don't cross that line.
Yeah. I don't want to speak on his behalf, obviously, but I'm just
no. I get what you mean. Like, are you a fan of the Cortinas?
I haven't. I like them. I haven't ever really delved into them properly. Like, I've never sat down and listened to one of their albums. I will admit.
I feel like they use the right amount of swearing. I don't. Why are we even talking about this? I don't even.
It's a weird. Is swearing cool? My nan doesn't think so I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. So therefore, I don't.
I actually had this conversation with my nan about. She was like, "You don't swear in your songs, do you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do sometimes." And she's like, "Oh, do you have to?" And I'm like, "Well, sometimes it's just there's no better way of describing
exactly
that particular lyric or feeling that you're trying to describe. So sometimes you have to use it."
There you go. Who knows? This might even stay in the show.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so
Brilliant.
This is probably my favourite question, to be honest. I should have probably saved it for last, but we've got something else for that. So one of your because I stress this a lot. The reason I say one of your go-to karaoke songs, because I know you, and I guarantee there's more than one. For me, there's definitely more than one, for sure. I've got about 50. Like Rihanna, Take a Bow, ABBA, any ABBA song.
I mean, ABBA's like an instant, right? That's an instant go-to for this.
Maybe a bit too cliche.
Answer to a question that we haven't said yet, but yeah,
exactly.
I could have easily picked ABBA.
Exactly. That could have fitted in with. I think ABBA could have answered any of the questions. Did you just say that?
No, I didn't say that, but I mean, ABBA could have been one of my first songs that I remember ever listening to for sure.
Oh right, it
definitely
same.
could have been a song that inspired me to get into music.
It could have been, exactly.
I mean, 100%.
Okay, right. So, what is your go-to karaoke song? One of them.
So for me, it is. Well, this is number one for me. Is Rick Astley "Never Gonna Give You Up"? Because if I've got my long coat on, and the only karaoke that I've ever seemed to gone to is in the winter before Christmas, so I'm normally wearing, a reasonably decent coat. If it's anything like his, I can do the dance. Not very well.
White trousers. I know you like your trousers.
Put on the Rick Astley the voice and sing away and dance away. But it was very close to "Sex Bomb" by Tom Jones. But I just
oh really?
Yeah, just because it's the voice thing. I like putting on that. Never gonna give you up.
No, the Tom Jones one.
Yeah, no, "Sex Bomb." So yeah. It's sort of the same. I think I think Tom Jones better, if I'm honest.
Maybe your Tom Jones sounds more like Rick Astley.
Sex bomb.
You're my sex.
You're my sex bomb.
That's the thing. Once you've had a few drinks, like I think anything goes. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
I got to say, one of my go-to. I don't know if you're familiar, or I know you probably know who he is, but JME.
Yes.
So he has a song called 96 Fuckeries, which I'm quite tempted to play in this show. Basically, I know every word like off the back of my hand. Seriously. And I that is a go-to. I've got many videos of me doing that. If anything, I think it got a bit boring after a while for my mates. They're like, "Oh yeah, do the JME thing."
It's a bit too cool. It's a bit too cool for a karaoke, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's grime, so it's a bit too aggressive.
So this guy coming, oh shit, he can actually do it.
It's not very inclusive. It's not like Sweet Caroline.
No, but fuck it, everyone wants to see a bit of it.
Who gives a fuck? Exactly. It's my
and it's
choice,
funny that we're just talking about songs with swearing in it, and then it's quite literally in the title. So
yeah, I gotta say that I love Jamie. I fucking love him. Honestly, I think he's great. So
being an artist, I haven't really given time. But there's so many artists out there. So I always want to delve into different things. You
can't have your finger in too many pies.
I know, exactly. I tried to.
In my life. Right, okay, let's do it. Go-to karaoke song, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. Right, okay, let's move swiftly on, because we're not even halfway through the show. So I feel like we've just been rambling on for ages. So
but that's what happens. It's good.
Exactly.
We'll have 3 hours. We'll be competing with Joe Rogan soon. Don't you worry.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have our own little special. So let's go. A song you wish you had wrote. I personally like this question because there's many of songs where I'm sitting literally right here and I'm literally pretending that I wrote like Rocket Man or something. And everyone's like, oh, that songwriter's so good. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like, I'm amazing. When really it's not me at all. So I'm sure you've probably had that once in your life or not.
No, I mean, yeah, it's when you can get so into it, you feel like it's. But that's the sign of a great song, right? Is that it's really connected with you. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that if you feel like you could have written it, then you've obviously connected with it on some sort of level. I mean, again, hippie stuff coming out, but yeah, that's probably. I've had that feeling. I've had that feeling with this song. I mean, I definitely wish I wrote this song, which is "Rock the Casbah" by The Clash. And
unbelievable.
Again, another tune I remember from childhood. It was very close to Baker Street in terms of my memory of hearing music on the radio.
Yeah.
And this tune, I mean, I just think it's really interesting. Well, the drummer, I forget his name, annoyingly.
Let me Google it, because I can't remember his name either. The Clash drummer. Fucking hell, he's like 4. Pete Howard, is that his name?
No.
Rob Harper, Terry Chimes, Topper Headon.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, I knew it was some funky name, but so I couldn't. I don't know many people called Topper Headon. No. I don't know anyone called Topper Headon other than this.
No one. I've never heard the name Topper before.
The one and only. But he was in the studio before I can't remember what the album is. Combat. I forget. Anyway, he was in the studio before the rest of the band showed up one morning because they were late or something, and he basically started making these loops on the piano and started doing all these things. And he essentially came up with the whole basis of that song. Had lyrics for it and everything, but Joe Strummer ripped them up and said, "No, try these lyrics over the top." And
really?
That's how they formed "Rock the Casbah." But I just think it's one of those tunes. It's so catchy. I
didn't know that.
I'd love to have written it. And he's the drummer who wrote it as well. So, there's a chance that I could have written it for MOFGY.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then one of the bandmates comes in and rips it up.
It would be Dan. Dan would come in and
would do that.
Rip up my lyrics, I'm sure.
And just show his hairy chest.
Exactly.
Just scream like a bear. No, Max, we're not doing that. All right?
Yeah.
These are my words.
I couldn't do that to him. He needs his lyrics. He needs his lyrics in his hairy chest.
He needs to do something.
Exactly.
Right, okay, let's do it. To be fair, I've got to say, this is genuinely one of my favourite songs, so I'm really glad you put that in.
Oh, buzzing, mate. Yeah.
I could say the same for another song that's going to be coming up in the show as well, which I listen to near enough all the time. Right, let's do it. Okay, Rock the Casbah by The Clash. Boom. There you go. Okay, next up. Right, we're going to be actually talking about you now. Okay, and your music. So, your latest single. So, maybe give the listeners a bit of context. So, when did this song come out? A few months ago, wasn't it?
It's a few months. I couldn't give you a release date. But yeah, it's been a few months now.
This is my favourite MOFGY song.
Well, thank you. I mean,
definitely.
It's Dan's mum's favourite MOFGY song. So, which always makes note of it. Kids, so she loves it. Jane Thorne, she loves it. She was
I know Jane.
Basically, you do know Jane.
Who doesn't?
But for a long time was saying, when's Weatherspoon's song coming out? When's the Weatherspoon song coming out? So we knew that it was hotly anticipated.
Yeah. It was in demand.
The most anticipated track of 2022, I think, even though it's by one person, but still.
But I was going to say, Matt, I'm genuinely really impressed. How did the song how did it come about?
Good question. So with a lot of MOFGY songs, it's not really one person a lot of the time. It's quite a group effort. But I think this particular one, I want to say was Kieran, who's our bassist. had the guitar part for it. I could be really horribly wrong here right now. Could have been Alex's guitar part. I'm pretty sure it's Kieran. And essentially it's like this little, you know, kind of jazzy guitar part going on. And he was playing it in it just became one of those jams, and eventually Dan started writing some lyrics over the top. The lyrics to the song, I mean, that's obviously where a lot of the catchiness comes in, with the my oh my, the things I do to the girl behind the bar in Wetherspoons. Is a real person.
I think
but
lyrics are my favourite part. They're my favourite part, mate. Seriously, they're really good, really good.
Mate, banging lyrics. I can say that because I didn't write them, so it's all good.
So it's based on a real person, is it?
It is, the identity of which we do not know. We don't know who she is. It just happens to be a particular woman in Wetherspoons in Bromley South who used to work behind the bar, and obviously Dan took a liking to her. That's how the song came about.
So wrote a song, yeah. Right, let's listen to it. I think we should just listen to it, because to be honest, I think it's genuinely incredible. It's one of my favourite songs that's ever come from you.
Oh, wait, thank you. I feel like I'm ruining the mysticism of it, so we should definitely just play it.
Let's just crack on, shall we? Right, let's do it. Right then, we are back with Max and Max on the Maxtape doing an interview, maxing out.
Maxing out.
This question is quite important to me, actually, because I genuinely feel like some people, even people who like music, don't understand like how much it can actually change your life. Like, it can actually be just one moment, in my opinion, because it's happened to me. It literally has happened to me, and I'll give you a bit of context. My one was I was watching Soccer AM one day, and
great show.
Spectre came on the show. Like, it was their first like big TV appearance, and my brother was like, "Who are these lot? Fuck it, who are these twats?" And I was like, I don't know. I think they're right. You know, like, I thought they were really funny, and because they're not like proper like football sort of laddie types, so they're a bit kind of an anomaly on the show at the time. But then they played a clip of their new single, which was Chevy Thunder, and it literally just everything changed that day. It was really, really weird. Like, how I started to dress, I literally just copied how they dressed.
You just want to come and boom, you look like a front man of Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it was. It was really strange. Like, I just kind of everything just shifted for me. And I want to know if that has happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And I feel like it's, you know, it can be hard to pick, because I've had a few instances where that's happened. But the one that major for me was, I was on the verge of, I'd just finished sixth form, and I was on my way to study music production in Guildford at university. And I was in one band at the time called Western Bears. It was my first band when I was 16, played for a good few years, and it was like really good, but a really good time, but it was coming to an end essentially. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do after. I knew I wanted to play music. I knew I wanted to carry on doing projects, but I had this idea. Jake Bugg was quite popular at the time. And like, he was the new thing sort of that time. And I was like, oh, you know, I could maybe just do something with my guitar, like just me and my acoustic. And I'd been writing songs like that, not like Jake Bugg, but just by myself.
Yeah.
And then I went to Reading from something stupid like the 4th year in a row or something. And I went and saw Queens of the Stone Age, and I was a big fan of theirs already.
What, 2014 would that have been?
Yes, with Arctic Monkeys as well, which was, you know, my dream.
I couldn't actually go that year. I wasn't allowed to go, so.
Oh, who didn't allow you?
It was actually my boss at the time.
Oh,
yeah,
bad boss.
Yeah,
horrible boss.
No, nothing like that. It was just I would say it was actually. So I asked my boss. So I used to play football, and my manager was like, "No, you can't go for the whole weekend, but you can go for the day." So I went on the Sunday instead, just to see Blink 182, 1975 as well, and that's when I did the JME impression, just the singing. And I called up my boss, which I just fucking regret doing. And I just like, oh mate, can I just stay the night and I'll be home like tomorrow, and I'll have Monday off, but I'll be in Tuesday. And he was like, no.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
He
yeah.
would have gone down in the legendary books if he,
Yeah, I know.
just,
Well,
just
I think,
let you stay.
that was that. I think that was the start of the end, I reckon.
Uh,
For me, anyway.
yeah.
But anyway, so going back to you. So what, you was watching them, they headline with Paramore, didn't they?
Yeah, and the night we had was, I actually can't remember which way around it was. I want to say Queens of the Stone Age got the headline, but they alternated.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Between that and Leeds. So,
Yes.
Was it Paramore was the other one, right?
Yeah, Paramore. Yeah. So I think Paramore came on first at Reading.
Yes. Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think I watched them. I'm not really a massive fan.
Paramore
personally.
fan, no.
But I just remember seeing Queens of the Stone Age. I'm at this point in my life where I'm leaving school essentially to go on to, university and stuff. I'm like, wow, I just saw the music and the band, and I was just like, I've got to be in a band. It's just the sounds coming out, like the way they came on stage as well. I was like, I couldn't do that by myself, just as a
I see what you mean.
Me and my acoustic guitar, and I loved the heaviness of it and the drumming and everything, and I was just like, I need to be in a band.
Yeah,
and that for me, when you just watch music and quite literally just sending shivers down your spine, that kind of feeling, hairs on the back of your neck standing up and everything. That's what I had when I was watching them, and I couldn't really pick an exact song, but like that on that night that made me feel that way. I just know the whole set in general. But yeah, a song for the Dead is definitely is high up there for me with Queens of the Stone Age. Always used to play it in my car when I was back in school. And just there was this like empty road. It was the going home song, so I used to drop some of my mates home, and we put that song on, and then it has that whole intro with the drumming, just like dum, dum, and then when it kicks off and comes in, that's when the foot goes on the accelerator and you go down the empty road. Just pelt it down there. It's a going home song. That's what it's known as. It's
the going home song. So a song that changed your life, a song for the Dead, Queens of the Stone Age, the going home song on the Maxtape. Let's do it. Now, I can't wait to talk about this next one. Reason being is because I actually don't really believe in guilty pleasures that much, but I know it's a common terminology that is used pretty much by everybody. Like I said, don't really agree with it, to be honest, because I have this new playlist that I've built at the moment, and fucking hell, I've put some real effort into it, and it's class. I've got Natasha Bedingfield, I've got James Blunt, I've got fucking Ayaz, Jason Derulo. Yeah,
mate, it's a beautiful playlist by the sounds of it.
I'm flying, trust me, I am flying at the minute. I've never looked back, but to be honest, I mean, the good thing is
above all else. This is your number one playlist, not a guilty pleasures or anything.
It 100% is, because I have like a running playlist as well, which tends to be a lot more like Kanye West, Duck Sauce, Manskin, is it? Yeah, so I have like people like that just to get me in the mood. But this pop one's just been absolutely killing it. I guess I reckon that I bet you have quite a few guilty pleasures actually. And I reckon, so your guilty pleasure is
Justin Timberlake. But he's not a guilty pleasure.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. He's not.
He is just, what a man, what a singer.
Great actor.
And I just...
Great lover.
Great lover. No, trust me. But the first two albums he released, I mean, and no disrespect to anything he's released afterwards, but I just haven't listened that much further. But it is, other than Suit and Tie on the third album, I bought all these albums. Funny enough, when I went to uni, went for a massive Justin Timberlake phase where I was like, I'm so in love with this music and this man. gonna buy all his
albums. I don't think
albums.
anyone's ever had a Justin Timberlake phase.
So I bought all his albums because in my car, I don't have an aux lead. I can only play CDs, which I still live by, and I quite like it. Some people absolutely hate it when they get in my car and they can only play CDs because you end up hearing the same albums over and over again. So you just got to buy more. But I bought three Justin Timberlake albums just so I could smash him out in my car.
Whoever's your passenger's like, fucking hell, mate, everything's MOFGY. Don't listen to this.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. It's the only CD I've got in here.
Sorry,
There's only two songs on
time.
it. But...
Again?
Yeah, I know.
So 3 albums of Justin Timberlake, yeah?
Yeah, but
That's real
Sexy
effort.
Back, I feel like it's just, it also takes
Cry Me
me
a River.
back to, yeah, I mean, wow. Senorita.
Can't go wrong with that. Yep.
We did a cover of Justin Timberlake before. What's this tune called? Forget. Better have you naked body in this song. Don't be so quick to walk away. Dance
with me. Yeah,
yeah.
That's it. Yeah, is that what it's called? I know what you want.
I'm actually terrible with song titles.
Yeah, me too.
I love music. I love artists, and I don't know the names of their songs. I'm actually really bad with that.
Well, the thing is, like, I like going back to the point about like I have to listen to music all the time for this, basically, just constantly like collating playlists for the radio. And honestly, I still end up going back to my guilty pleasure stuff. Not so much Justin Timberlake, though. I'm not sure about that, mate.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm joking.
Rihanna's high up there as well. I mean, that would have been Disturbia. Is like, honestly, I think one of the greatest songs ever written. Yeah, I mean, that song. Yeah. Bum bum dee dum bum.
Fucking hell, you think that's one of the best songs ever written? That is a bold statement.
In terms of catchiness, pop songs,
right? Yeah.
I couldn't get that out of my head for so long. So if they did that, it was like some sort of weird hypnosis on my brain. So I rate it.
Satanic.
And it's a great video as well. That's around the time I was watching music videos on TV.
Yeah,
it's quite creepy.
It is a bit weird.
But yeah.
Okay.
Hats off to Rihanna and hats off to Justin Timberlake.
Anyway, what are we talking about? Yeah, Justin Timberlake. Right, let's do it. Sexy Back, Justin Timberlake. Max from MOFGY's and Desmeralda's guilty pleasure. Right, now, moving swiftly on from Justin Timberlake, let's talk about what you think is, I was really surprised when you sent me this answer, but not so much the answer, more that you sent it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I got, just because of the theme that you had with all the other questions, I thought it would go in a slightly different way. But yeah, one of the best songs of all time.
Yeah, and you know what? I it's probably safe to say I'm not actually that much of a reggae person, as in I like the genre, but I don't listen to it enough. I'm one of those annoying people where it's like the reggae artist for me is Bob Marley, but it's not that he's just reggae. Obviously, he's amazing pop songs, amazing songwriter, and Bob Marley and the Wailers is just. If I don't know what I want to listen to, I can put him on and it's going to make me feel good, no matter what mood I'm in. So whenever I'm stuck for listening, you know, like you start thinking of artists to listen to, like, I don't know if you ever get this, but I can be like, I really can't listen to that right now. I really can't listen to that right now.
Yeah, I do get that a lot.
And it's like, I want to listen to some music, but I just can't. I couldn't even imagine listening to that particular artist right now. Bob Marley never fails for me. Same with Michael Jackson, who's very close to being up there. It's just great pop music, but also great production and amazing bands, amazing instrumentation. Which is why I chose "Is This Love" by Bob Marley. Cause,
I think it's a great choice. It's a great choice.
Yeah.
However, I have one reservation with Bob Marley, and that's ever since I went to Jamaica, and we got picked up by like our transfer, so me and my girlfriend, and their radio or their CD or player or whatever in the coach was broken, which means they had one song on repeat. Yeah, and I can't remember what it was, but I guarantee if I listen to like "This Is Bob Marley" on like Spotify's playlist or whatever, I would 100% recognize it straight away, 100%. And it was just played on repeat the whole time. And that was the only problem I had. I was like, I can't listen to that song anymore. That is doing my nutting. But all the other songs, great. I think he's amazing. I even went to his house.
Wow. That must be cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was wicked. Yeah, it was fucking amazing.
Someone tried to shoot him then. Have you seen the documentary? I think
really?
There's like a documentary on Netflix about the time he got shot, but he didn't get killed, obviously, by that.
Fucking hell. I need to watch that. I like music documentaries.
But they broke into his house and everything, and yeah, they got him. They got Bob, but he survived.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, did you know his dad's from Liverpool?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
His dad's a Scouser.
I'm sure they probably mentioned it in the documentary, but I didn't see that.
His mother used to make like dolls. Do you know what I mean? Like dolls to play with.
It sounds really creepy, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I went to the house and they were everywhere. They were everywhere because he was buried next to his mother in like a tomb sort of thing. And there's dolls everywhere. And then he had this rock that was like, he would always do songwriting on this rock, and they've preserved it and it's still there. And I had a picture on it and everything. It was. They say like, people have sat on it before and have been inspired to do stuff. I
was going to say, you sit on it and you just start, it
all just came to me.
Skanking. You just can't,
Yeah, well, I just did Jeremy. Yeah, I just couldn't help but rap,
Yeah.
No, but I got to say, it's just, what a choice. What a choice. Is there any other Bob Marley songs you would have picked, or is this the one for you?
You know what? It was really difficult. The only reason I chose this one in particular, and I might upset some Bob Marley fans. They might be like, or some people like listen to him all the time, be like, why'd you choose that one? It's like quite obvious, but it's the one that when I put him on in the car, I always sing to this one. I'm always singing, and I feel like if that's always making me sing, that's always the one that's like connecting, then it's got to be a great song.
That's the answer.
And,
there you go.
The problem with a lot of the greatest songs, they end up getting overplayed. Because either because they're great or because someone's pumped loads of money into it. But normally if it's a hit and it's lasted so long, it can be cliche or it can be overplayed purely on the basis it is a great song. So, I could have chosen something really obscure, but there's too many things like that to choose from, I feel. So.
Yeah.
What about you though? What would your song be?
That's a good question.
Greatest of all time.
One of the greatest songs of all time, I'd probably say I really like Starman by David Bowie.
That is up there for me. And that's one of the very few covers I know how to play on guitar. I don't know a lot of covers, but I sing that one regularly.
And I think Elton John might be up there as well.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, but I don't know which one. But I know he's got...
Not Rocket Man.
Not Rocket Man, no.
Because it's very, very similar. But I found out, I was like... I found out, I was basically, I was thinking, that Rocket Man song by Elton John sounds really similar to a Bowie tune. I think someone who's behind the production and that team of the worked on both Bowie and Elton John's tune. So that's why it's got a very Bowie feel to it.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting. I know. Now you say it, I know what you mean.
Sorry, you were going to say.
What was I going to say? Do you know what? People are going to hate me for saying what one of my favourite songs is. It's as of right now, so I think it's situational. I'd say one of my favourite songs is probably Step Into Christmas.
Wow. There we go. I mean,
at the moment,
it's nearly the right time of year.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, deal with it.
It's as Christmas songs go, it's a great one.
It's situational.
I'm more of a...
Or it's Take a Bow by Rihanna. I'm joking.
I don't think you are joking.
I don't think I am either. In fact, let me look on my Spotify, because it is a hard question.
Can you see that instantly or no? Is that possible? What? Is it only in Spotify Wrapped where you can see what your most played track is?
Oh well, let's have a look. Because it might have saved your top songs 2021. So my one was actually, I'll tell you what, I've got a better answer. So I've got my top 3 songs were Roddy by Joe. Do you watch Stranger Things?
Yes.
So you know Steve Harrington?
Yeah.
He's an artist as well called Joe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Mate, listen to a song called Roddy. It is unbelievable.
That's
Trust
really
me.
Good. I knew he was in a band. But
he's class. He's unreal. That was my top song. And then second was actually Modern Love by David Bowie.
Okay, great tune.
Yeah, great tune. And then the third one, which I think is actually one of my favourite songs of all time, one of the best songs of all time, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Boom.
Okay,
Deal with it.
big
There
tune.
you go.
And I hear it a lot
Yeah.
because I'll be on. I listen to Greatest Hits radio a lot on my way to work.
Me too. Didn't they take absolute spots? They did, didn't they?
Yeah, but mate, they've changed the game.
They're crushing
such a late stage in pop song radio. They've changed the game.
They have.
Greatest Hits radio is
they've put themselves on the map.
It's a good place to be. I really enjoy it.
It is. I feel at home listening to that.
Yeah, you know, it's it's weird with the top songs thing because I don't know about you, but I don't listen to one song that much. So really, what my top songs are could only be like a few plays.
Yeah,
because I'll be listening to, say, an album or someone else's album, so it's just by chance that whatever gets up there.
It's funny you say that, yeah. I was listening to a podcast, again, with Joe Rogan, and you know the drummer in the Black Keys?
Yes.
The one with the glasses, I can't remember his name. But he was saying, like, that he was trying to propose to the record labels and the streaming services, like, how do you change the redistribution of royalties based on the quality of royalties rather than frequency? And they were kind of like, what do you mean? And he's kind of saying, well, a lot of songs by pop artists, mainly mainstream artists, will make a song that is just repeatable for loads of occasions. Like it might be like Post Malone or whatever. Like, don't quote me on that, but you know what I mean? Like that's someone who's really big and just you can just play it on repeat all day. Whereas someone who likes the Black Keys might only play it 5 times, have the physical version as well, go to their show, and will be a lot more engaged with that artist. But that artist will make like fucking no money. Do you know what I mean? Because of the quality element, because he's trying to say like a diehard music fan, in quotes, will take songs from loads of other artists and collate them into one thing. Whereas someone who's not really a music fan will just have like History on, like a History playlist, and it'll just be on repeat all the time. And it's just like background noise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely see what you're saying.
But how do you manage that? Like, I don't think you can.
I think, unfortunately, it's just that's the way it is. I don't think you can, because then that becomes a very, 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 like, I feel like weird area. It's a weird, like, it's a bit of a grey area, but you know, how do you judge? Even once you do start judging what a quality of a listen is, how can you say that the person who isn't as much of a diehard music fan, how can you say that their listen doesn't count as much? But I know what you're saying. It might be like, oh, someone's just stuck it on the radio or it's over the music at a shop. But at the end of the day, that song's been played.
But it's always been like that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's always, that's the problem. That's what Joe Rogan was kind of saying back, I think. He was trying to say, like, well, it's always, instead of people who create music for like TikTok now, that was the same. They were just doing it for the radio. Like Bohemian Rhapsody never got played on the radio at the beginning because it was like 8 minutes or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? And they were saying like, oh no, you can't write that. And it just took some balls to actually say, no, we are going to stick with it, you know? So
yeah, I think it's in all honesty, I think from the Black Keys perspective, it's just sort of searching for things that can't be tamed. You can't tame that, I don't think. And I mean, they're just lucky they got people coming to their like shows and buying their merch and everything. That doesn't happen for every band.
Exactly.
So
That's true. That's true. And you know what? I've had some time while we've been speaking. I'm going to go with, as of right now, I'm going to go with Starman by David Bowie.
Great choice.
I'm going to get rid of the Christmas one.
Bowie is, you know, he grew up in my hometown of Bromley, so he's he's sort of the only, well, not the only successful person out of Bromley, but the biggest the second biggest after MOFGY, the second biggest artist out of Bromley.
Exactly. There you go.
Bowie.
Let's do it. But we're going to play yours. We're not going to play mine.
You got to play yours now.
Yeah. So we're going to play. So hopefully people have been listening to this whole monologue. We're going to play one of the best songs of all time, according to Max Brosio of MOFGY and Desmeralda. We're going to play Is This Love by Bob Marley. Boom. Let's do it.
Boom.
And now, going from really old songs that we've touched upon, I want you now to kind of tell me about a new song you think everyone should be listening to.
Oh,
Mm,
okay. I was looking at I had to remind myself of the,
the
I had to
answers.
remind myself, of the answers, what I was giving. So I very, very nearly put a King Gizzard and a Lizard Wizard song in because I've been listening to their latest album, well,
Yep.
one of their latest albums because they release them so often.
hmm
Um,
What, Gandhi?
no,
The album's called
it's like
Changes.
the one that's like mushrooms, lava, this, that, the other.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not the title. It's
No.
Ice Death Planets. Um,
Oh, that one.
yeah, Ice Death Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava, and that is
Uh-huh.
wow, just like an amazing album. Great for
Mhm.
just laying down, stick your headphones on, and get lost in the music. But also, one of those songs is 10 minutes long, but each of
I
them
know.
really. But
Perfect
then I
for the
thought
radio.
I'd do a service for a band that I actually saw at a great little festival in Kent, called Smugglers Festival. It's a great little spot. And me and my friends went there and saw this band called Clen. They're
Mhm.
playing on this little stage that was built in the middle of this woodland area, and it was just my mates. Me and my mate were just looking at one of the members and just going, "Wow, like this is look at that Barnet!" And just he was like, "This is the best Barnet I've seen in a game for a long time." He couldn't get over his hair. He's this really tall blonde fella. They all had this great look on stage. It was like a throwback to the, I don't know, 60s. They had this kind of very 60s feel and yeah, in terms of their look and their general vibe. But the music was great. I got completely lost in the music, and now they've started releasing some tunes, and this tune, The Pipers, has come out recently. Great video as well. And they're a band from Falmouth, I believe, in Cornwall. And yeah, I think they're great. Me and my friends think they're great, and I hope they keep releasing tunes.
Yeah, well, I've got to shout out, that was obviously the first time I'd listened to them. Very impressed. Very impressed. I thought they were right up your street, weren't they? That's like the first thing I thought was like, I knew you'd like it. Yeah,
it's good. It's good fun, especially when you're when you're at a festival off your tits. It's great.
That does help. Right, let's do it. A new song you think everyone should be listening to, according to Max from MOFGY and Desmeralda. I like to always mention.
Oh yeah,
The Pipers by Clen. Let's do it. And now it is time to end the show. So I want to end it with, I think the right way to end it, in my opinion, would be what is not the ultimate dance floor filler, but an ultimate dance floor filler. Because I think there is multiple. I think they're for different reasons. You know, you could have a slow dance. You could have one of them, but you haven't gone for that. What have you gone for?
So I've gone for the Rockefeller Skank by Fatboy Slim, because I mean it is just an outright banger, isn't it?
It's class.
As well, I went for a major Fatboy Slim phase in the last, probably what started just about a year ago. Always liked his stuff, but really just started listening to the albums from beginning to end, and I was just like, wow. And on this particular record, at the end of I'm terrible with song names, mate. It's the Right Here, Right Now. It's the opening track. At the end of it, you've got this little skit with a guy going, "Oh, you get that new Fatboy Slim sound. Like, go on, tell me about this Fatboy Slim." You know, it's like, oh, funk soul brother, check it out now.
Oh,
and then
nice.
it goes into the tune, and it's just such a great transition. And it just slaps you in the face, basically.
It does. It does.
Big tune.
Who's doing that singing? Is that him who does that bit?
The
beginning bit.
The check it out now.
Yeah. Is that him?
No, it's actually sampled from an old record, from a soul or hip hop record. I'm not sure.
Really?
I've seen the breakdown of his track. I can't remember the tune. But he's one of the 90s masters of sampling. You know, you got you got Prodigy, you've got Fatboy Slim, you got Chemical Brothers, and they were all, I mean, just to name a few, but
then you got Kanye West nowadays as well, who does it a lot.
But they were just sampling loads and a lot of hidden samples. I'm pretty sure there's stuff in there. I've seen them in interviews, like Fatboy Slim talk about it, where it's like, no one knows about that one yet, because the guy's looking at his computer screen how he's making this track,
Yeah.
And he's like, no one spotted it yet, so it's all good. But
What? So can artists actually like sample a song and just try and get away with it?
yeah, essentially. But it depends how well you disguise it, because
Of course.
at the end of the day, if it is one easily obvious, or if someone does figure it out, then
There's
I
gonna be a lawsuit.
believe the copyright is that if you didn't get it passed, you didn't get any permission, they can own 100%
Wow.
of that song. So
Didn't it happen with like Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams with Marvin Gaye?
Yeah,
Something like
and
that.
that was more of a rip though. That wasn't a sample. That was just they
Straight up use.
they ripped the beginning of the song, and I'm pretty sure they admitted it in the end. Like it was like, yeah, that was the kind of vibe we're going for.
You got me.
Wrote the song again. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
they're more
people do
flattered
it-
that it sounded like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah,
Oh, good. Yeah, no, that's what I was going for. Yeah,
but,
I didn't know
I
that.
think at the end of the day, if you do completely write a song again, and it happens to have bits of another tune, I don't think it's wrong. I don't. I think okay, fair enough that the law's there, the copyright law and everything.
That's just to protect the labels, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's definitely been situations where people kick up a fuss.
Oh
for
yeah, sure.
Apparently,
Have you not seen?
stupid reasons?
Yeah, oh mate, massively. Have you seen the Ed Sheeran one with like no? What's that song? Shape of You, is it?
Oh yeah, I did hear that. He was a very unknown artist, though, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I was thinking.
So he's probably just doing it to get himself in the spotlight a bit more.
Definitely. But
Yeah,
I don't listen to that song.
It's a little bit weird though, because
What, similar?
there's a harmony. It's not just what he does the whole thing, the whole harmony.
Yeah.
So, but there's a chance he could have heard the song and then written it, and not intentionally
That's the
ripped
thing.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't
Well,
think
funny
you
enough.
can. I don't
Go
think you
on.
can put cap. I don't think you can put a cap on that.
Yeah. Well, when I first started writing poetry, I actually tried writing a song instead, and saying I write poetry makes me sound like such a twat. Doesn't it?
Oh, I write poetry.
When I first started writing poetry,
yeah, but
I think it's just my voice.
I do the same, but I know how it feels. You don't want to say.
Yeah. True. When I started writing, when I was a lyricist, a wordsmith. I woke up one day and I wrote a song, and it was exactly the same. Like I literally was like put on my headphones one day and went to work after I wrote it, and I was like, I wrote a fucking good song here. It was in exactly the same rhythm, melody as Sorted for Ease and Whiz by Pulp.
Oh,
Exactly the same. And I was like, fuck's sake, like, I can't.
Had you been listening to it recently?
Yeah. Usually the night before. Yeah, not before.
You thought you'd come up with a completely original idea.
Yeah.
Turns out
And
you
it
just wrote the song that you heard 5 minutes ago.
absolutely.
I think that
to be
happens
fair,
all the time.
It must do. It must do. But in fairness, when I write when I write poems now, I'll write the lyrics in the same rhythm as a song that I like, and then just read it, because you can't.
Yeah,
that's not copywriting. How words are read in someone's own head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but
You can't legislate for that.
No, and I to be honest, I think sometimes it's actually a good place to start with using either the rhythm or something else, or taking someone else's song. I think that if you take someone else's song, you actually go, right, I'm going to try and write that tune. It normally comes out different anyway, so
yeah,
you'd have to actually straight up rip it or accidentally rip it. But I think if you intentionally go to a song, go, I'm going to write this song similar, but like do my own thing.
It will end up being a lot different. Yeah,
I don't know. It kind of amazes me how people write such similar tunes, like almost bang on without and say, I don't know. I'm kind of contradicting what I just said, but
no, but I get what you mean.
Weirdly, it normally does go in a different direction. So
yeah,
but I suppose pop music's very.
I saw Led Zeppelin had an issue once. They supported a band, or I think a band supported them. I think their name's Tyrus or something like that. And one of their songs, an acoustic song, and the beginning bit, or there's like a middle eight in the song, which sounds exactly the same as Stairway to Heaven. And they supported each other on tour before Stairway to Heaven came out. So, as you can imagine.
I've heard of this, the whole Stairway to Heaven thing. I've listened to it. You're initially going, no, that's not, oh, shit, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear it now.
Like, what the fuck's on about? Yeah. I'll get it. Fair enough. Right, listen. So let's play it. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? But firstly, what I want to ask you, well, lastly, before we go, is what's the plans? What's the plans for MOFGY?
So, you know what? The next step is we've got another tune coming out for the end of the year. And then that's going to wrap up the current. We've got an EP essentially, which is the 3 tracks we've already released. Another track's coming out. It's going to wrap that up, and then we're going to start a new phase beginning of next year. It's going to be more music coming, plenty of tunes, and we've actually just planned we've got a big show. Well, say a big show. One that we're planning to make bigger at Old Blue Last in Shoreditch, which is planned for in January. We got Slobheads on as well, which is going to be good. So we're sort of just building towards that, and it's going to be a release gig as well. So that's going to start us off with some new music for the beginning of the year as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you still got something just opened up on my computer. I thought I lost you, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you. I thought the screen just went off. Something popped up on my screen. But yeah, that's the plan. And then Desmeralda as well. We're not gigging as such at the moment, but we've just wrapped up the album. We've got an album coming. So
fucking hell, yeah.
That's been in the works for a while. We've just been shooting some videos and stuff and getting the mastering done now. So yeah, and this week as well. Sounds like I'm just trying to get too much music out, but just dropped the stuff. Just dropped the stuff that I was working on for myself in lockdown, and I finally decided I'm going to start putting it out. It's just to get it off my chest, really.
Is that your version of a lockdown baby?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do any shows with it or anything like that, but I just want to get the music out and start releasing it. That first one came out this week under the title of Spig, which is a nickname for me.
I didn't actually know that was your music.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you've listened to it.
You've been sharing it. No, I haven't. No, not yet. No.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was like a friend's band or something.
No, it's that is me. That is me. Maximilian Zbigniew Brozio. It's from my middle name, Spig.
What is your middle name?
Zbigniew, which is Polish. Yeah.
Polish.
Yeah, it's got a weird spelling. It's Zbigniew. No F.
I'm not going to remember that.
No, most people don't. I don't suggest you try and remember it.
Yeah, that's why the nickname comes in handy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's there, mate.
Exactly.
Right, let's do it. Right, thanks for your time, mate.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, mate.
Really appreciate it. Don't leave this phone call because just in case it cuts out. Okay?
Yep. Okay.
I don't even know how to end this thing, but we're going to just try it anyway. But to play us out, we're going to be playing the Rockefeller Skank by Fatboy Stank.
Thank you, baseline.
By Fatboy Slim, an ultimate dance floor filler, according to Max Brozio of MOFGY, Spig, and Desmeralda as well.
It's 3.
Anything else?
That just sounds greedy now, doesn't it? I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have mentioned this.
I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I hope so. I have. I think it's been great.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been really good, mate.
Brilliant. Let's do it. Right. Let's play the show. Let's play the song, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.